My name is Meadow Kingfisher, and I play young Katara in Avatar The Last Airbender, and you're watching Pop Culture with Pat.
Guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. So, I'm so excited to be joined by today's guests. Today, we are going to be talking all things Netflix's Avatar The Last Airbender with young Katara herself, Meadow Kingfisher. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Meadow.
Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. So, to kind of start things off before we jump into, all things Avatar The Last Airbender, actually, real quick, I want to say, because I just saw this today, congratulations on the show. I saw that it's number one across the world. I saw that from Netflix. So, just congratulations on the
Thank
success of
you.
the show. You're very welcome. So, to start things off, Meadow, before, you got into like Avatar and everything, what was like the inspiration behind you wanting to get into acting in the first place?
Um, well, I kind of like fell into acting. I kind of so I've been a dancer like my whole life, and this was like 2020, so like it was like COVID year, and all the dance competitions were canceled. So I was like, I really want to do something. Like, what should I do? So then there was an online thing my mom got that like was looking for indigenous dancers slash like actors, and I was a dancer, so I sent in a video of my lyrical solo, and they just loved my emotion. So they sent me the script, and they wanted me to learn the lines, and like send them a video of me doing the lines and like acting it out. So then I got that job, and then ever since that, I got an agent, and then I have an LA agent too, and everything has just been like going really well.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. I mean, talking about turning a negative, situation with, the pandemic and everything and kind of turning that into a positive. So that's a really cool story. I've talked to, a number of different guests on here, and I've had several people that have gone from dancing and then gone into to acting, but nothing like your story. So that's really cool. And then obviously, now we're here, you're in one of the biggest shows, on Netflix and in the world, like in general, right now with Avatar: The Last Airbender. So, you play Katara in the show. What was your audition like for playing young Katara?
Um, I kind of like forget, but I feel it was like the like emotional scene. So like when my mother was getting like when my mother died,
Finally. Yep.
yeah. Um, it was like that scene like where I was like crying and like all scared. And I didn't know it was like for Avatar The Last Airbender. It was called something else. And um when I found out it was Avatar The Last Airbender, I was like so like in shock. Like I was so happy. Like it's just so cool being able to be a part being able to be a part of this show. And yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's always kind of secrecy when it comes to, different
Yeah.
projects in general, but especially when you have, like a big project like this, they always try to, they have code
Mhm.
names and stuff like that. So when did you like actually find out? Was it like did they reach out to you and tell you that you got the role and then they said, "Oh, by the way, this is for Avatar," or was it like before that
Yeah. It was
when they
it
reached out
was
to you?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was after you
It was
booked.
after I booked it.
What does it mean to you to just to get to play such like an iconic character from a series that's so beloved by, fans like across the world?
It's like really like cool, and like I don't know, I'm just like so happy to like to be in this show. And like Kiawentiio is just like so amazing. So I was like so happy to be like young Kiawentiio and like a flashback. So that's like really cool. And yeah.
What was your experience like, finally getting to put on Katara's costume for the first time? Because I imagine, I mean, that must have been really exciting too.
Yeah, it was really exciting. I like really wanted to tell like all my friends and stuff, but I couldn't. It was just like so like cool, and like I don't know, it was just like awesome.
Yeah, I mean the costumes in the show too, like
Mhm.
the costume designer, they did a fantastic job
Amazing job.
with all the characters. Was it because I mean it looked pretty warm. Was it warm at times trying to like wear that costume when filming?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
can imagine. So it looked like it would be, especially where if you guys are like, on sets, you're not actually out in like the Arctic, filming any of these kind of things. So what was it like just being on set for that very first day? Like were you kind of, just like your mind blown, like seeing all the different sets and stuff like that, or
Yeah, my mind was like blown, and I was like really like nervous to like be on the set. I don't know why, but after I like filmed my scene and stuff, like I was like I don't know, it just felt like better. And like the set was like so cool. There was like a room called the wait, what
The
is it?
volume.
The volume, and it was like giant screens, and like they looked so realistic. Like there was like birds and like trees, and I was like, what is going on? Like it's like so awesome.
so it made it feel like you were actually there, right?
Yeah, it made me feel like I was actually there. Yeah.
That I mean that's cool. Yeah, I mean I've obviously never have gotten to experience the volume, but I've talked to a couple people that have worked with it, and they say that it's just like amazing,
Yeah.
technology. Did you get to look at like any of the other sets, or did you just kind of go to that one area where you were filming that day?
Like kind of like that like the one area I was filming that day like I mostly stayed in, but then I also went to go see Gordon do a scene, and like I forget what it was, like a different set. It was like yeah, but that set was cool too, and it was just like I don't know, it was just so awesome.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can't wait to see more of like the behind the scenes kind of stuff of this series, just to kind of see it all put together. Because I always tell like, people that I'm talking to, I love like the behind the scenes, aspects, just
Mhm.
like seeing the sets built and, you guys like putting on like the costumes and stuff like that. So hopefully we get, more of that stuff now that the show's finally out.
Yeah.
I mean, watching the show, so I finished it within like 2 days. I think I watched all the episodes, which I was like debating if I wanted to because it's one of those things where it's like I wanted to watch them all in one sit down, but I also wanted to try and like spread it out. So I was watching it. I still had stuff to look forward to, but I'm just gonna go back and watch it again. What impressed you the most? Like, was it the costumes? Was it the sets? You were talking about the volume. What kind of blew your mind the most?
I don't know. I feel like the set, like the volume, maybe, and like the costumes were like so cool too, and like they were like so amazing. Also, I don't know, maybe just like the people on set too. Like they were like so like awesome and like kind. And like yeah, it was just like so awesome.
Did you get to, because I know like sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Did you get to keep anything from your time like working on the show, or did you have to kind of give it all back at the end of shooting?
I had to give it all back.
Ah, that's too bad. Was if you did get a chance to like keep anything, like whether it's like the costume or anything like that, like was there anything that you would have liked to keep afterwards, or?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like the like I don't know. Everything on the costume was like really cool. So like I can't take the whole costume, but like maybe like even just like the hair piece that goes like that. I
Oh,
feel like
yep.
that would be cool. Like
Yeah.
just to have like in my room to like you know.
Yeah, just to remember working on the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you at all for that. What was just like in general, what was your favorite part of getting to play Katara?
Um maybe okay, well, I really like crying. Like I love doing like crying scenes and like really sad scenes. So maybe like just like being able to like do like a really sad scene and like yeah, I feel like that was like my favorite like part,
And
you know.
that's something that's tough for some people just to be able to kind of, turn that on to be able to cry at a specific moment. Is that something, do you feel that you're able to kind of do that, naturally, like when they're like, okay, we needed to cry in the scene, or is it kind of challenging to do that?
I can like just do it.
You can just do it, no question.
Yeah.
In what ways would you say that you are similar to Katara? And are there any ways that you are different? I imagine, obviously, other than the ability to bend water. Is there
Yeah.
any other ways that you're different from her?
Um, I don't know. That's like a hard question.
Or is there like are you similar to her at all? Or she's like very hopeful,
Yeah,
um,
like she's very like hopeful and like she's
very
like
determined too, to like
yeah.
to prove people wrong.
Yeah. I feel like
You'd
I'm
say
like that kind of too.
probably those two things.
Yeah.
Now, prior to being cast on the show, I feel like it seemed because you didn't come out and say it right away, but I feel like were you a fan of the original animated series before you got cast in the live action series?
Well, I like watched like a couple episodes, but my little brother, like, he's like a big fan. And like when I got the job, he was like he was so happy. Like he was like it was crazy for
Must
him.
must have been losing his mind. So
Yeah.
once you got the part, did you go back and like watch any of the animated series just to kind of see how Katara
Yeah.
like is as a person?
Mhm.
Do you outside of Katara, because I feel like obviously like where you play the character, that would probably be your your favorite like in the show, but outside of her, do you have another favorite character from the Avatar universe?
I don't know. I like everyone
You like
from like
everyone?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I mean, I love the whole cast. I would say
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see because my favorite character coming up, Katara, and then Toph. Toph is my favorite character, so I
Oh
can't wait
yeah.
to see what happens. Fingers crossed with a second season if they
Mhm.
introduce like her. Now, if you had a choice, what kind of bender would you be in real life if you had the choice to be one out of Fire Nation, water benders, earth benders?
I, I feel like water. I feel like that would just be so cool. Like I don't know. I
You can
feel
do a
like
lot of cool stuff with water.
yeah.
I mean, just what we got to see like in this, first season, and obviously people know if you watch the animated series, but you have water itself, you have, ice and different
Uh-huh.
things like that. So you think you'd probably stick with the water?
Yeah.
As a fan, now did you get a chance to have you seen all of like the season one for Netflix, or are you still watching that like right now?
I'm like still watching.
You are still what episode did you get up to so far?
Like I like only like I kind of like when it first came out, I like kind of skipped to my scene and just like watched my scene very quick. But I'm starting to watch it. Like I'm starting to watch it like tonight.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, I mean, you got a lot to look forward to. Yeah, I love that
Hmm.
each episode is about it's about like 45 minutes to like an hour for like
Yeah.
each episode. So there's a lot in there. But
Mhm.
I was gonna ask you like what's your favorite episode so far, of the season outside of, like your episode. But if you haven't had a chance to watch it, that's no problem. But you'll have to get back to me on that because I'm definitely
Yeah.
curious like what your next favorite would be. I really
Mhm.
liked like episode 2, I think it was where it's not really like spoilers, but you just see Suki and Kiyoshi is in that episode. So that was really cool to see them. But yeah, I'll definitely be curious like once you get to watch it, what your favorite is. It must have been really fun just to work on this series where
Mhm.
you know so the visuals are beautiful. It seems like an incredible cast. All the people that I've gotten to speak to so far and just the interviews that I've seen. Do you have any kind of fun behind the scenes stories of you just like hanging out on set, or are you interacting with any of like the other cast members or anything like that?
Um. Well, like I like spent a lot of time at Crafty because their Crafty was so good, and it was just like really good. Also, just like everyone was like so nice. Yeah. Oh, and Gawendio gave me like a sweater that had like her like uh album cover on it, I
Oh,
think.
that's really cool. Yeah, so you actually got to meet Kiawentiio. Was it like in between like filming scenes, or was it like after the show, or
Yeah. Like in between and like after.
did you guys, I'm curious, did you guys talk at all about playing Katara, like playing her at two different stages in her life where you're playing the younger version of her and then, she's playing like the little bit, older version or
I don't think so, because I don't think she was like on set like the day like I was on set, but then like I would see her like she would come like later and stuff.
that's really cool that you got to, meet her, at some point and just kind
Hmm.
of talk to her to a little bit. So, and you got to, yeah, you mentioned that you talked to like Gordon, like as well, because I believe
Hmm.
he's like part of like the same like agency like as you are. Am I
Yeah.
right about that? So did you get to
Yeah.
kind of like hang out with him for a little bit too and just like kind
Hmm.
of talk with him?
Yeah.
The series, so I mean, the series now that it's officially out, what's been the reaction for you, just with like friends, family, and even just like fans? I'm sure you've probably gotten like tagged in different stuff on there. So what's been the reaction for you?
Well, all my friends are like super happy for me, and like all my friends have already like watched my episode and stuff, and like yeah. And I'm like sometimes I don't like watching myself act because like I don't know, I just like don't like watching myself. But like in this, like I actually like love like watching myself in this one because I don't know, it just feels so like I don't know, it's just like so good. I feel like it's just awesome.
Yeah, no,
I don't
it
know.
was an incredible scene. So I mean, you should be,
Yeah.
really proud of it. Did you have like a did you have like a big like watch party or anything like that, for like the one episode with any like family or anything or
Well, like my like family like watched it with me, like my whole family, like not my whole family, like my grandma, like just like my mom and dad, and then my brother, like my siblings. But then all my friends watched it later, and my grandma and grandpa watched it later too.
That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure you're probably getting like, tagged in different things like on like Instagram now that the,
Yeah,
the series is out and there's probably going to be all kinds of different fan edits and stuff like that like on Instagram. So that's always exciting. But yeah, I mean that one the specific episode because we get to see a couple times. There's like
yeah.
flashbacks and then we see kind of that full scene play out. But yeah, that main scene where we get to see was really cool. If you could pick one character from the Avatar series to go on an adventure with, who would you pick and why would you pick them?
Um, maybe like hey, I don't know if this counts, but Appa, like
App-
the like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, he counts. Yeah, he's part of the show.
hmm
Now,
But
do
I
you
feel like everyone would be great to like hang out with, like go on an adventure with.
now do you think that would you be scared at all like climbing on top of him to go flying around in the air or
I don't think so.
you don't think so? See, I'm not that great when it comes to heights or whatever, so I would probably be a little nervous, getting on them, especially where you don't exactly have a whole lot to hang on to. But yeah, no, I
Yeah.
mean that's definitely a fair pick to have him to go on an adventure with. I mean, he's been on a ton of different adventures, but
hmm
yeah, the whole cast. I honestly think a lot of them would be would be fun to kind of go along for the ride.
Yeah.
Is there, just to kind of to wrap things up for you, Meadow, is there anything else that you would like to say about, working on the show and just to kind of say to the fans who have, watched the series so far?
I don't know. Well, like overall, it was just like amazing. Like everyone was so nice and kind on set, and like it was just like a one in a lifetime experience. Like it was like so awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I mean to get cast in a series like this, it's life
Mhm.
changing, for sure. And I can't wait to see, what the future holds for you. I'm sure it's going to be, very bright. And
Thank
as far as like, just for like fans, is there anywhere that they can keep up to date, with your work? Like you're on Instagram, right?
you. Mhm.
Okay, perfect. I'll make sure to put like your handle down below in the comments, so then that way people can
Okay.
give you a follow, and that way they can keep up to date with with your journey, not only with Avatar but all your future projects going forward. Well, hey,
Okay.
Meadow, thank you again so much. Just for coming on here. Taking time out of your schedule to come on and talk about the series. It was great talking to you, and you are welcome back. Anytime in the future as well.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. It was so awesome. Hi, my name is Meadow Kingfisher, and I play young Katara in Avatar The Last Airbender, and you're watching Pop Culture with Pat.